Hello and welcome everyone to the universe of Godskar. This video is the first of many delving deep into the lore of this rich and ever-expanding universe. I hope you enjoy it as much as we do, so please stay tuned. Ours is a galaxy shaped by roaming spatial anomalies known as Godskars. These star-scale rifts emerge without any warning, travel through space at sublight speeds, then disappear, like great whales of Earth breaching the ocean surface. While the nature and origins of the Godskars defies full understanding, there is an archaic wisdom held by myriad sentient races that they are the shattered remains of the three gods that made the universe. What is known about the Godskars with certainty is that since they first appeared in our own galaxy centuries ago, life, indeed all matter and energy, has been at the mercy of their migration. Godskars reshape the universe in their vicinity without regard for the otherwise stable laws of physics that govern reality. A star in the wake of a Godskar is as likely to be pulled apart and scattered to the void as it is to be collapsed into a singularity. And planetary bodies at the periphery of a Godskar's influence may be changed in ways so improbable they all but demand a perverse intellect as explanation. The indefinite persistence of life on any planet in the galaxy is no guarantee under the threat of a Godskar emergence. In order to survive, the spacefaring species of the galaxy have been forced to adapt. For most, this has meant life as nomads among the stars, forever running. But such an existence is dependent on faster-than-light travel to evade destruction. And though the exact methods may vary, all such faster-than-light technology is dependent on the byproduct of the Godskars themselves, the mineral scarnite. While the effect a Godskar will have on nearby space and matter cannot be predicted, Godskar's interaction with matter does consistently produce scarnite, an otherwise unobtainable substance of infinite application. Scarnite is at the heart of technologies vital to life of the galaxy's numerous intelligent species. Scarnite offers the only means of escaping the Godskars. As such, it is also the focus of progress, trade, and conflict. Any species that would guarantee its future must wield Scarnite to do so. In the current balance of power, there are three such major players. The Hominum Caravans is the broad coalition of human factions descended from Earth. When Godskars first appeared in our galaxy, mankind had only just begun to establish permanent settlements on other planets beyond their home world. The discovery of scarnite accelerated human technological advancement and enabled the species to turn their ambition toward new stars. Assisted by incredibly powerful artificial intelligences, humans built immense colony ships and prepared to seize their destiny. But the Godskar that had provided humanity with scarnite also attracted the attention of the Mole Warp. In a calamitous culmination of the ensuing war, mankind lost control of the very AI it had unleashed to defend the Earth, and the planet was lost to them. Humans fled into the galaxy aboard their prototype colony ships, never to return. Now humanity thrives as a loose confederation of self-sufficient caravans of ships. These caravans, each somewhere between a fleet and a nation-state in their own right, survive by gathering resources, chiefly scarnite, while avoiding Godskars. There are countless caravans throughout the galaxy, ranging in size and strength, including reclusive independents and outlaws. But the largest and most influential of the caravans are each centered around mighty iconoclast capital ships, the very colony vessels that once fled Earth. The hominin caravans are all that humanity was before its exile from Earth, now mixed and shaped by centuries thriving in the void. Each caravan lives by its own cultural standards, laws, and systems of government. Alliances are made and broken, ships are built and destroyed. All across the galaxy, humans and caravans fight for their place and purpose. The Mole Warp Corporation is the dominant superorganization of the species known as the Mole Warp. Mole Warp are bipedal and humanoid, but when compared with a human, they are several times as massive, hairy, and strong. Naturally adapt to an environment of subterranean tunnels, Moles rely physically on strong digging claws and robust auditory senses, but have extremely rudimentary vision. Perhaps the most important physical adaptation of the molewarp species is a symbiotic relationship with an oxygen-producing fungus that grows on their bodies, the spores of which suppress the more aggressive tendencies of their mole hosts. The Molewarp Corporation as an organization has been the unifying force for the majority of molewarps since they took to space. MoleCorp is at once an all-controlling corporate entity, government, and religious body for corporate branches and sub-corporations across the galaxy. The corporation enforces the supreme molewarp principle of balance, which sees a duality of destruction and creation as the intrinsic truth of the universe. One must destroy to create. In practice, though molewarp are of varied personal motivation, belief, and demeanor, they broadly view the order of the universe as an endless debt to balance. Structures, space vessels, even inhabited planets are borrowed from the natural void of space. A good mole must first reduce this debt before borrowing again for their own purpose. It just happens that many of the most expedient and satisfying methods molewarp employ for relieving such debt are hulking grinders and high-yield explosives. The goal of a mole is rarely chaos in and of itself, but to find beauty in the chaos of burning destruction is generally held as a high ideal in molewarp culture. The highest ideal of all for the Molewarp Corporation and their ultimate goal is to restore their shattered deity, Sithrix. And though there is much theological debate over the precise details, all corporation members understand that the amount of destruction required to balance the creation of a god will be tremendous. Luckily, even if it is the work of generations to come, the Molewarp's planet-devouring refinery ships are up to the task. The host of Luminor are perhaps the oldest intelligent race to still operate in the galaxy at large. Members of the host are known colloquially to humans as angels, a reference to the bipedal winged form common to many of their kind. But the host of Luminor understand their physical bodies to be malleable in pursuit of greater perfection, and so they utilize technology to alter their physiology. An angel is likely to take many different forms throughout their long life, such that an individual may be wholly unrecognizable from one century to the next. The common and most vital characteristic shared by these diverse forms is a direct integration of Scarnite. Nearly all living angels of the host of Luminor hold themselves to be Kaiserif, and this is the calling that defines their nigh-immortal existence. As devout believers in the truth of the three, Kaiserif foretell that the destiny of our galaxy is to be the cradle of rebirth of the primordial god Kaifon. However, unlike the Molewarp, who would rebuild the god they believe was torn apart, Kaiserif claim the god Kaifon will be reincarnated by the elevation of his children. To some, this means that the host of Luminor as a species must together embody a new divine being. To others, the dogma implies that a worthy individual will one day ascend to godhood. In either event, Kaiserif dedicate their lives to attaining perfection via the threefold path of the Kaiserifin, that they may one day become a god. In fact, the host of Luminor's devotion to the concept of the three gods has led most galactic species to assume that the myth of the three was originally spread by the angels. Whether this is true or not does little to dissuade widespread belief that there is ample evidence that the host of Luminor possess an understanding of the universe that is hidden from others. Their Scarnite-infused bodies and ability to manipulate energy and their own biology speak to a race that has long since mastered the galaxy. Most impressive, however, are the worlds of the Kaiserif, whole planets shrouded by barriers and moved about space at will. The host of Luminor may well be the only species left in the entire galaxy that can still live permanently on the surface of a planet. They are able to shield their worlds from the hazards of space and hostile attack, and even predict, some would claim control, the movement of the enigmatic Godskars. If it is true that a being of this galaxy can become a god, the host of Luminor stand as a strong candidate. Thank you to everyone who stuck around for the entirety of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And please like and subscribe if you'd like to hear more of the lore of Godskar. visit our website at metalboxgames.com for updates and upcoming products. Thank you and have a good night.